Okay, be great to start with some background on the company. I guess a little bit about when and why it was formed, some of the key people involved, and any milestones to report as well.
Sure. No, Abstract Security was founded in 2023, and I'll say the focus even then was clear. From the ground up, it was founded with a security mindset. That was because there was a need to transfer how data logging, detections was being done. Founders include our CEO Colby DeRuff. He was part of the early days of ArcSight, so he knows exactly the shortfalls of legacy SIEMs and the need to change. And then our COO, Chris Camacho, he built out Flashpoint, the Intel business there. And then our Chief Threat Research Officer is Aaron Schellmeyer. He came from Palo Alto Networks. So since the launch, we've been lucky and worked really hard and gained a lot of market traction from enterprise to mid-market. And then recently, we launched our Paint program, which is the Partners, Alliances, and Integration.
Okay, just before we get on to that launch, it'd be good to understand a little bit about the technology. So I think you offer an AI native modern security operations platform. That's how you describe it. So tell us a little bit more about what that involves.
Yeah, that's right. I think native is the key word, and AI is a very broad topic that I'm sure we could spend a long time digging into. But it is native. We didn't bolt it on. We built Abstract with AI at the core. And I think a great example of that in our technology is ACE, and that's our augmented security engineer. So think of ACE as kind of a SOC teammate. They're going to filter the noise, prioritize what matters, and they arm analysts in the SOC or depending on where they sit, but with real-time insights. So instead of analysts having to deal with the deluge of a lot of alerts, they can get a little more breathing room and focus on the threats that really matter. So it's a very efficient approach that complements the AI capabilities that we have.
Okay, and then as you mentioned previously, you're now launching your Paint partner program, and if I got it right, it's partnerships, alliances, and integrations. And just be good to understand. I mean, was that just always on your roadmap? Is there a particular reason why you've introduced the program now? So the background to the launch.
Yeah, no, I'll admit I thought you were going to say paint me a picture of partnership.
Okay, well, I missed that one. No, you should be asking the questions clearly.
No, I have folks internally have said that to me, but no, I believe that the channel hit a breaking point, and a lot of organizations, folks like us in the industry have seen that. And really it's because partners are just tired of the SIEM, the legacy SIEMs that are wasting money, they're slowing down detection. So we've proven that Abstract is not just another tool, it's a better way to run security operations. So the timing just made sense to go ahead and formalize what we built. And so we did, we launched it. And I'll add that, it's not just a partner program, it's an ecosystem where integrations and alliances and service providers intersect together. So we're giving partners the flexibility, margins, the network to scale, all the things that Abstract is delivering. We're delivering it in a partnership way. That's what's needed to answer that demand.
Okay, and in terms of any specifics the program offers worth highlighting, be good to understand, what are the pillars, if you like. So what interests the MSPs, the VARs, whatever. What's good to tell them?
I will say this: the fundamental aspect of being a practitioner myself, as a background, relationships are key. So right out of the gate, we've built the underbelly, if you will, of partnerships. Abstract as a whole, built on those relationships, and it's not just a cookie cutter portal and a badge that you get with Paint. Our partners need an edge, and Paint's delivering that. We're going to do it, of course, with new revenue streams, and how we're doing it is because we're going to support and stand up the differentiated services and capabilities that we provide. They're able to get that. And so delivering that to their customers is going to build new revenue streams because it's a differentiation, and its cost efficiency too is a huge benefit for our partners, MSP space as well. We go right after the huge problem in security operations today, and that's ingestion costs. So, and the fragmented detection. So partners are going to win deals that the competitors can't by teaming up with us. And then third, it's the ecosystem that I mentioned earlier. Our integrations are robust. Our alliances are there, and it's real enablement. So it's that ecosystem that really makes our partners dangerous, but in the best possible way.
Okay, and in terms of the platform, I mean, I think you've alluded to it there, but in terms of the security operations platform itself, it'd be good to understand what it gives to MSPs and therefore their customers. And I guess that boils down to a certain extent to how do you differentiate yourself? What's different about your approach, the innovation you're bringing to this area? You say there's quite a lot of folks out there, and there may be, certainly not AI native. I shouldn't think most of them. So yeah, just talk us through the advantage you're bringing.
Yeah. They're too long of a list. No, I'm just kidding. We do see that demand, the differentiation, the needs that's there, and I tie it back to why Abstract was built. It was to be innovative, to answer the problems that are in the cybersecurity space that we're in, and so our platform is meeting those challenges in three components really. We stopped the SIM tax by reducing down the data ingestion with Abstract pipelines, that component. With our streaming detections component, we're going to shift left, and we're going to catch threats in the stream before they hit storage and equip security teams with a gallery of curated threat intelligence for enrichment and correlation. So the stakeholders there, are much broader than just your typical data management side. We have cyber threat intel analysts, we have your SOC, your traditional data management, vulnerability. So the broad usability of our pipelines and our detections in streaming detections maps to a lot of use cases and a lot of stakeholders. And then third is Lake Villa, and I smile when I think of Lake Villa because I do like our graphic. It's a lake house, obviously, but that's our customer security data lake. That's instantly searchable. It has a long-term retention and at a fraction of the cost, and that makes a big difference. And I'll add for MSPs, we enable them to deliver these type of security services to their customers so they can get the log visibility, detection, these things that I mentioned, but they're getting that without the price tag or the complexity that typically they're used to with maybe a legacy SIM or a different tool. So those cost savings alone unlock margins for MSPs, and that's a huge positive business impact. So I want to impress that as well.
Yeah, and in terms of perhaps just more generally, in terms of the overall cybersecurity landscape, how do you see yourselves fitting in? Because I know one of the sort of objectives these days is to consolidate, what people call tool sprawl, etc. So you helping folks do things like that, and how do you see yourself fitting in? Because the cybersecurity stack can be as complex or as simple as people want, but yeah, how do you fit in shall we say an optimized cybersecurity stack, if such a thing exists?
No, yeah, understood. Yeah, there's a lot of consolidation. There is a lot of tool sprawl, and I think where we fit in is where those legacy SIMs, crushing teams with cost and complexity. We're easy to use, no code. The ability for us to be stood up is quite rapid. There's no long onboarding or deployment. So the SIM side, but also there's a lot of lightweight tools that just can't keep up with the modern threats from a security side. So Abstract's going to bring the best of both of those worlds. We have the deep visibility with detection, but we're going to deliver that with speed and the flexibility, the cost control that security teams need. And I think that's a huge demand. And for us, moving forward, what we're doing now, and as we move forward, we want to focus on that innovation and the differentiation. That's going to help us, continue to lead in the spaces where the demand is needed to, cure a lot of those legacy issues that a lot of security teams face.
And just simply in terms of how partners can access the solution, are we talking cloud, marketplaces, traditional distribute? Just what are the ways you're getting to the market or getting to the channel?
Yes, I mean, we're cloud first, AWS, Azure, GCP, marketplaces. It's a quick way for us to deploy there. And right now partners can work with me, our team directly. I'm probably the easiest person to get a hold of, meaning I will answer my phone, I will answer my emails, and so will our team. That's just the ethos that we're built from. But we are expanding into other marketplaces as well as roadmap. The important part is that Abstract for our partners, right? They're going to plug right into their tech stack, their ecosystem. There's no rip and replace. As I mentioned before, it's really just fast to value. But in terms of engaging with us or with me, we have our website, of course, the partner page there, and I'll make myself readily available at any time.
And just in terms of the onboarding process that sort of follows on, just talk us through that. And I suppose also the potential for partners to grow. I mean, obviously a lot of programs have different levels and all that. Just where can a channel partner start, and where can they potentially end up in terms of interacting with yourselves?
Right. I'm going to keep it and we have, as a company, kept it as simple as possible. So partners from the very beginning, will map to how we can show that better together story. We're going to get the technical training that they need, the sales enablement, support that they need to start running fast. And as they grow, we're going to grow as well with them to support them. We'll, from co-selling to webinars to joint go-to-market. I don't see the partners in a portal as a number. See them as a long-term relationship. So when they're winning, we're winning, and that's how the partnership here is designed around that philosophy. So the enablement's there. It's more white glove than I think anything else, because I think the hands-on is a huge part of what differentiates us in the market.
Okay, and then maybe just to finish, it'd be good to understand clearly you're busy. You've just launched this program, but on the roadmap, is there anything else you can share? Whether it's further developing the platform, growing the company, just whatever you can share as to what is around the corner, if you know.
Right. Well, I mean, selfishly, I'm going to say that on the business side, of course, it's to scale Paint, partnerships, build out that ecosystem, keep growing our channel, give our partners more innovative ways to win. But we're going to, stay strong in getting stronger where we've been successful. 2 years, a little over 2 years in, that's that area we're going to continue to invest in and be strong in. But I will mention something that I'm excited about. I'll mention it here. I haven't mentioned it yet, and that is our Abstract communities. And so that's where, as an example, detection rules, modeling, detection models could live and be authored by us. They could be authored by our partners, by customers. And so it's a community of, let's say, detections where they're shared, what's working, what's not working, something needs to be updated. So it's a crowdsourced way to really provide the enablement across our customer partner base. And I'm really excited about that, because that's going to keep us, as we mentioned earlier, right, being different, a differentiator in the marketplace. So we're gonna keep doubling down on that.
Okay, and maybe just one other thing, be interested in your opinion. Clearly, AI is being used for good when it comes to cybersecurity, but we know also that the bad actors can use it. So, do you think that AI, the balance between those two parties, from what has been traditionally and now AI, does that change the balance at all? Does it make it the defense easier, or does it give the attackers more more potent? But just any thoughts as to whether AI makes any difference to that ongoing battle, if you like.
No, I appreciate the question. I do. I wish we had a whole lot of time. I would definitely dig into it. I'm not by any stretch of the imagination an AI expert, but it is, that intelligence that it needs to be treated that way, and the usability of it, how it's wielded, On one side of the coin, good. On the other side, could be bad. You always have that gray area as well. But I do believe that if that balance is consistently there, meaning no different than how we've done things, we can see a replication of it from a defender and an adversary side. My background, I was in the government and the Air Force for quite a while, doing a lot of counter intel investigations, and cyber was a huge part of it then. And seeing how it's multiplied, and a lot of these security organizations now are cautiously adopting it, and others are a AI first model. So I think we need a little more time to figure out how that's going to play out in organizations. But being very focused and understanding the risk, it won't be long. We'll have, if probably not already, right, AI on the risk registrar of Lloyd's or Bank of America. I mean, those are real threats, right? Depending on how it's used. So I'm interested to follow it myself and would love to continue the conversation some other time. But I do believe that it can be used for good and bad. It just depends, I guess, on the motivation, right? Or the outcome that's intended.
Okay, no, it's been great to chat, and thanks so much for sharing insights into what's going on at Abstract Security and
Yeah.
thoughts on the cybersecurity industry a bit more generally. So, Mike, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you as well. I appreciate it.